Good evening, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on Monday, October 13, 2025. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate all you guys. Well, I've been receiving a lot of comments on the video that I posted, that hour-long video on the Gangstalking Informants Cointelpro Bridging the Gap book by GmB Bailey. So, and I only read up to a certain point because it's quite detailed, and I will be reading more of it. But I realize that many of you don't always have the time to read the comments, and sometimes the comments don't appear, they disappear. It's sometimes difficult to follow along, so I decided to select some comments that were under that video and read them to you. So here we go. So now one individual wrote, and I have heard of this tea before, but I didn't know what the benefits of the tea was. And this is for educational purposes only. If you drink holy Tulsi, like Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi basil tea, you'll feel a lot better. It sops up the cortisol released in your stressed out adrenals. Well, that's a good thing because most targeted people are stressed out, and it definitely affects the adrenals. Another person writes, I believe that the cartels are running these programs and that our communities in every state, that they are out to destroy America and American citizens. And that could very well be the case, because there are hate groups that have infiltrated our country with different ideologies. I'm not all that politically adept and stuff, but there are people out there that are still of the misguided belief that we should be a communist country, that we should be fascist. And there are inherent groups out there that possess that ideology and have brought that into the United States and utilizing those tactics against targeted people. So another person writes, LOL, me too. No way you can pay me anything for me to do this to people. Who knows why others would want to impress hateful people by this behavior? It's got to be a division kind of thing for sure. Divide others based upon gender, religion, skin color, etc. Or it just has to be a lie they tell others. He or she is a bad man or woman, and we have to harass them every chance we get. I forget that a lot of these gang stalkers are pulled out of jail to do this, and worse to others also too. So thank you for that comment. Another person writes, I don't think the gang stalkers are human. I believe they are programmed like MK Ultra to be a human bot and stalk innocent 67-year-old women that are single. Well, thanks for singling me out. A lot of people have been singling me out lately because it is an anomaly, because most of the It's not that I don't have people above the age of 60 subscribe to my channel, but generally most of the group that's subscribed to my channel are between the 25 and 45 age group range. So another person writes, I'm still trying to determine whether the gang stalkers are more evil or more stupid. In other words, do they actually believe the lies they're told? Or do they just not care and want to hurt people? Now that is a profound statement and question. I look forward to your comments down below. Let's repeat the question and the statement. I'm still trying to determine whether the gang stalkers are more evil or more stupid. In other words, do they actually believe the lies they're told? Or do they just not care and want to hurt people? Like, do they enjoy hurting people? Well, I can point you to the sadistic personality. And yes, there are people out there with sadistic personalities that thoroughly get off. They get their rocks off on hurting other people. They enjoy it. Another person writes, after they tore down the Berlin Wall, people found out that their neighbors had been spying on them. There's no difference in this country. Little frowny face. Another comment. They want to know down to whatever soap you use, where you go, so they can infiltrate everything, so they can make your life destroyed. They infiltrate friends and family so they can separate you and turn them against you. They also use witchcraft. Oh yes, I can absolutely attest to that. You can go to my playlist on witchcraft here in Jackson County, Kentucky. They are seriously crazy. They will lie to everyone so they can destroy your reputation, so people won't help you or speak to you. And they will help the gangstalkers. We don't fight flesh and blood, though. We're fighting the demons in them. People who are not on a spiritual level with the Lord can be easily turned to believe good is bad and bad is good. And basically that's what Satanism is. Everything is reversed. I don't know if I told you the story back in New Jersey. Now, back in New Jersey, I had a really big house, and even though I had a lot of stuff, I was highly organized. Like my socks were all rolled up and all in a row in a little box, and my panties were folded in a certain way. They're all lined up, color-coded, color codings in my closets and stuff like that. Yes, I was that detailed. You have to be, I was a single divorced mom, very busy, adult learner, nonprofit, rescuing cats and stuff. So anyway, given what I just told you about how kind of detailed I was about how I kept my clothing and how they were stacked in certain ways, etc., you can understand how baffled and confused I was when I would find that my socks would be miscolored. One sock would be paired with another sock. But the worst was that all of my clothing, and like when you wash your clothing, I don't know how you wash your clothing. Some people like to wash their clothing inside out because the inside part is what's touching your body. I'm not like that. The outside of my clothing gets dirtier than the inside of my clothing, so my clothing gets thrown in the wash outside out. So now I would go into my closet, go into my armoire. I had an armoire, with shirts stacked and stuff, and every t-shirt, shirt, panties, whatever it was, would be turned inside out. I kid you not. And of course, I was clueless about what was going on. Just totally clueless about what was going on. I would have laundry detergent, a full container of laundry detergent, unopened, that suddenly was opened, and only like an eighth of it would be there. It was total cognitive dissonance. I had an alarm system. I had security cameras. I had deadbolts. I had some of the best deadbolts. The kind that they say you cannot pick these deadbolts. And I would have 2 and 3 of them on a door. I could not wrap my mind around the fact that somebody was actually coming into my house and turning my clothing inside out. So my mind didn't. My mind was like, well, wait a minute. Did they turn inside out as I was washing them? But after I washed and dried them, when I pulled them out of the dryer, if they were inside out, I would have automatically turned them right side out and folded them that way. But again, the cognitive dissonance was, I couldn't comprehend that this was being done to me deliberately. And the reason I mention this is because this is what Satanists do. This is what evil doers do. Just as this commenter said, that the Lord can easily turn people to believe good is bad and bad is good. And that's what these people do. They want to normalize having relationships with young people. They want to normalize having relationships with animals. They want to normalize that you go into your laundry and all of your clothes are turned inside out. or you know that you have turned them right side out, washed them, folded them, put them away right side out, and then you go to grab your panties and they're inside out. This is total psychological warfare and a disease. These people have a diseased mindset. And, well, we'll just give a shout out to the military, you know, because we all know that these guys and girls, their brains are hijacked at 18 years old. Their brain is still developing until the age of 23, and they are totally brainwashed into being order takers. Do as I say, not as I do. And those are some of the individuals that are stalking you and I. I guarantee some of them are wandering around on my property right now in their cloaking devices. And to answer your question, my hen, my barred rock hen, who is wearing the red apron, was stolen from the chicken coop. She was stolen. She has not reappeared. Imagine the terror that she felt. First, she was being targeted by a fox who never goes after my chickens. She got away from the fox, ran towards me. I picked her up and carried her into the chicken coop. I examined her. She had no puncture marks on her. I actually saw the fox grab her by her apron. And now this is the second time one of my hens has been saved by an apron. Actually, I still have the apron. One of my hens is wearing it right now, where a hole was cut into it by a dog that grabbed her. If she was not wearing her apron, a denim apron to boot, she was not wearing her apron, she would have been punctured. She would have bled out. So my hen, my barred rock hen, had no puncture wounds on her body yesterday. She was saved by her apron and by me by running towards me. I put her in the chicken coop to recover because she was traumatized, and I felt that she was safe in there. They're always safe in the chicken coop. Nobody else goes in there. Nobody. Not a fox, not a raccoon. Nobody else goes in there. I go into the cat's nonprofit building to scoop the litter, check on them and stuff. I'm probably in there 20 minutes. I come out, go into my house, come out, go to check on my hen. Gone. Gone all day. She is gone. They stole her. So imagine the terror of my hen escaping the fox, running into my arms, getting protection in her own chicken coop, to be scooped up by a psychopath wearing a cloaking device. And this is how they steal your pets. This is how they're able to do it while you're right there. And this is happening to me, Lorraine Valente, in Jackson County, Kentucky. I have been singled out by this community. I knew nobody when I moved here. No one. And they were on me like white on rice as soon as I got here, harassing me, stalking me, noise campaigns, light campaigns, briding me, trespassing. Freemasons being sent to my property to check me out. So anyway, thank you for those comments. I really appreciate you guys. But so to answer your question, no, the hen is gone. And no, an animal did not get my hen. I've been through this rodeo time and time again on this property. First of all, I know animals. I'm no teenager anymore. As this commenter succinctly stated, like MK Ultra to be a human bot and stalk innocent 67-year-old women that are single. Yes. What type of a psychopath, what kind of a neurotic, psychotic person stalks a 67-year-old woman? What kind of sick, pathetic loser at the PVA office here in Jackson County, Kentucky, harasses me on the phone, plays let's pretend I sent you a letter, and increases my property taxes from 0 to over $14.58, and that is with my over age 65 discount. So that's what they're doing here in Jackson County, Kentucky to 67-year-old women. And no, I'm not going to shut up about it. But one last thing. I will have another video coming out later because a couple of people, will randomly send me emails. And they'll tell me what's going on in their life. Sort of like a little mini testimony. So I've got a couple of those that I'll probably read on my next video. I do have a massive complaint to file against this moron at the Jackson County PVA because he's a pathological liar and he is not getting away with this. No. And I know this is a major distraction and they're always throwing distractions in my way, but this one, it's going to the top. He's getting reported everywhere. And I started already today. So I've got to finish what I started today and then start on my new little project against him. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Please leave a comment down below. Thank you all for hitting the thumbs up, share, and I will talk to you guys soon.